Hi, Canastota. I'm Sean Pacetta, Superintendent of Canastota Central Schools, and this is the weekly video update for Friday, December 17th. Well, as we arrive in the middle of December, certainly it's always an extremely busy time in schools, and this year is no exception. I did want to address a couple of items that are not only a big topic of discussion in Canastota, but in schools across New York State and even across the country. One was some of the recent issues related to threats or allusions to threats through social media against school districts. At the end of the week, we, as you all know, we're dealing with that issue once again. Just want to assure our school community that obviously we always take these types of things very seriously. It's always a balancing act of making sure that we're acting on the best information that we have, that we're putting all of the pieces together to the puzzle that's in front of us, and making sure that we're connecting with local law enforcement agencies, other school districts, so that our response is thoughtful and makes sense and keeps everybody safe. We appreciate everyone's patience and cooperation. It's always a balancing act of trying to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do to make sure that everyone's safe. We also are conscious of the fact that in the age that we live in, when social media can so quickly impact everything that happens around us, it's important to realize that we also want to not add to the hysteria unnecessarily. Oftentimes, something that is posted in social media is made far worse because rather than, if there is a concern, rather than bringing that concern to local law enforcement, for example, about a particular threat, or to a school, if they think it had something to do with the school, it's just further pushed out through social media outlets and made to be, and it's not really being addressed, but it's being talked about. So we would just ask people to please, if you're seeing something that is of a concerning nature, that you share it with someone who actually can have an impact on evaluating whether or not there's a threat. Simply by pushing it on further and having more eyes see something is not solving the problem necessarily. But we need to make sure that the right people who can evaluate these situations are able to do so. So we appreciate your cooperation. We appreciate you communicating with us. Please continue to do that as we look to address these types of situations now and into the future. I also like to talk about something else that has been very much talked about in local and media, and really, for that matter, across the state and the country, and that is discipline in schools. We've heard in many cases recently that students are having a tough time transitioning back to daily in-person instruction as we've wrestled with COVID over the past couple of years. Certainly, our school is sensitive to the fact that there are challenges in getting reacclimated to a regular schedule. But I just want to be perfectly clear to all of our families that we take this reacclimation process, we take the obligation to try to provide these supports to students to effectively transition back to a regular schedule. We take those things very seriously, and we believe that we're doing a lot of things to help ease that transition. However, we have the expectation that our students, when they come to school every day, can learn in an environment that is calm and conducive to learning. I can't emphasize that last point enough, that while we understand that there are many challenges that students all over the country face, our students, when they walk through the doors in Canastota, need to understand that they're going to be walking into an environment where learning is the priority, safety is the priority, and we're going to work in an environment that is supportive of that process. So, as always, we're asking for our students, our staff, our faculty to work together to be able to connect the pieces of the puzzle together. What do I mean by that? I mean that if there are issues where there is some level of disruption or discipline issue, then we need to know about that. The teachers need to know that. Our building principals need to know that. We need to make sure that that information is getting to the right people. Oftentimes, I think some people think that people who need to know about something are aware of it, and that's not always the case. I can assure you, and in fact promise you, that I'll always take issues of providing an effective and calm learning environment seriously. And I would ask that you, again, continue to share information with us, work with us as partners. And I can assure you that we'll do everything that we need to do to make sure that our students are in a classroom that is well suited for learning. We can't learn in chaos. No student can anywhere in Canastota and is going to continue to be a place that values order and discipline and high expectations, and that goes for all of us. So again, these are the types of things that I think when you get several months into the school year, and sometimes it's important to reiterate the fact that we need consistency across the board, and that you need to hear the message that we do expect the best out of the people who walk through the doors here. So again, share information is needed. My door is always open. And if there is a need to speak with me further about particular issues. But I'd certainly encourage you to go speak to teachers, and certainly our building administrators is a first line in that process. But again, we appreciate your cooperation. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and go Raiders.